Hey, Kevin here, Mr. DIY Dork, and today I want to explain how to make your very own red solo Reese cup. Now, this is really cool and it's actually pretty easy to make. There's not a lot to it, and the thing is, it's really wild look when you're done. You're going to blow some people's minds when you see it. So let me explain what you need. Okay, first of all, you need 1 cup of reduced fat creamy peanut butter. Now, the reason we're using reduced fat is obviously not for any health reasons. It's actually for texture. Reduced fat peanut butter, it's a little bit grittier than standard and it works awesome for this recipe. It turns out really great. Okay, you're also going to need about 2 cups of milk chocolate chips. This is actually just an entire bag I poured here. You're going to need a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar that's going to get mixed with the peanut butter here in just a little bit. And you're also going to need a pinch of salt. Mine just happens to be in a clown shaker, but it's just standard salt. Okay, you're also going to need some measuring cups. I'm just happening to use my handy dandy robot measuring cup set, but you're going to need that for when we're measuring and melting stuff later. You're also going to need 2 plastic cups. One's for the outside of the mold and one's for the inside of the chocolate mold, and you're going to need a little tape for that as well. You're also going to need another little bowl and a fork for when you're melting and mixing everything. It just works out better that way. And then you're also going to need a plastic Ziploc bag and a pair of scissors for when we're pouring the mold. That's all you need. It's really easy. Now let's get started making this. All right, so first off, you want to melt a little bit of chocolate chips for the bottom of your cup mold. So I'm grabbing a little robot here, and this is just a 1/4 cup. His feet are a 1/4 cup. And I'm just going to slightly round it off, so you want just a touch more than a 1/4 cup. And we're going to melt that. So what you're going to do is pour it into your bowl, and you're going to melt it for 30 seconds in your microwave and stir, and you may go another 30 seconds till it's smooth and creamy. Okay, now my chocolate is nice and smooth. So all you're going to do is scoop it into the bottom of the cup. Make sure that it totally coats the bottom, and then once it's all in there, you want to rotate the cup just a little bit so that the bottom is totally covered and then it slightly comes up the sides. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. Okay, you can use a spoon and just kind of get it covered, and then you can rotate just a little bit and just have it come up the sides a little bit. It's not very much, maybe a 1/2 inch or so. And if it starts to pour back down, that's totally fine. You just want a little bit of a small cup in there. And it'll look something like that, just totally covered. And now you're going to put it in your freezer until it hardens up. All right, so now we want to make our peanut butter mixture. So I'm just pouring my 1/2 cup of powdered sugar into the 1 cup of reduced fat peanut butter. So you just want to mix your peanut butter and your powdered sugar until it's nice and mixed together real well. And then you also want to put in a little bit of salt. Maybe about the equivalent of a 1/4 teaspoon or so, not too much, just a little bit. And then when it's mixed really well and you can't see the powdered sugar anymore and it's just kind of a drier peanut butter mixture, you want to put it into the fridge to let it set up just a little bit, and then we'll get working on our cup. So while your chocolate is hardening up in your cup in the freezer and your peanut butter is starting to firm in the fridge, you want to start making the inner mold. So what I do is take a pair of scissors, and you want to cut the cup right down the middle, like that, and then you want to cut right along this ring to totally cut the bottom off. Okay, and then once you cut the bottom off, your cup is going to be flapped like this. What you want to do is overlap it and then bring it about 1 inch over so that it's overlapping by about 1 inch. Okay, then you want to take a piece of tape that's a little bit longer than the cup. You want to overlap that and just tape that completely shut. Make sure it's nice and smooth, because this is going to be our mold, the inner mold. Okay, and now that is the inner mold for your cup. Next, we need to melt down almost all the rest of the chocolate for the sides of the cup. So I'm going to get my 1/2 cup here, and I'm going to save a 1/2 cup, and this is going to be for the top of the whole thing when we're done. So again, I'm going to fill up this 1/2 cup and just slightly round it, not too much, but just a little bit. And we're going to save this on the side, and the rest of this we're going to melt down 30 seconds at a time till it's creamy again. Okay. Okay, my chocolate is now melted. It's real smooth and creamy. So what you want to do is spoon it into your bag. It's going to be kind of messy, I'm just warning you. Get it all into the bag. And then once all your chocolate is in your bag, this is the tricky part. You want to just cut a really, really tiny corner off your plastic bag, and then grab your cup, pull it out of the freezer, and put your inside mold, set it in there, and keep it as even around there as you can. There's not going to be a whole lot of room to work with. And then what you want to do is take your bag and just start squeezing in there kind of like a pastry cup. It's going to be kind of messy and it might take a little bit of time, but just take your time and it'll be okay. You'll be able to look through the inside and tell where chocolate has not gotten down to it. Like I can tell there's not some there, so I'm going to keep shaking until it's totally covered. Now I've got the whole bag, I've squeezed it in there, and I'm just going to kind of even it out again. It's totally covered it. I can see that even on the inside it's run through a little bit, so that's okay. That's what you want. You just want to make sure it's totally covered. And now I'm going to put it back in the freezer and let this totally harden. It might take 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes. You want it completely hardened. So now once your chocolate cup has hardened, you want to pull it out of the freezer and you want to pull this inside cup out. And you want to be really careful, but it should actually slip out decently. This plastic doesn't really stick to the chocolate, so I like to pull this inside piece, just kind of work it all the way around so it slips out. If your cup breaks, that's okay. Just make sure that if there's any chunks in there that you pull them out. All right, and then I popped it out just like that, real easy. Nice and clean in there. It just slipped right out. And then you just want to grab your peanut butter, get it out of the fridge, and you're just going to fill it up. And just be careful with your cup. Don't squeeze it or crush it too much. And you just want to get all that peanut butter and just completely fill it up. Once all the peanut butter's in there, it should be pretty close to the top. There might be about a ½ inch or so, and that's okay because that's going to get filled up with chocolate. But now we need to put this back in the fridge and get the peanut butter to start hardening up again while we work on the chocolate top. Now that your cup filled with peanut butter is starting to harden back up in the freezer, you want to take the remaining ½ cup of chocolate that we saved from earlier, and you want to microwave it again for 30 seconds at a time, stirring in between until it's nice, smooth, and creamy. Okay, the peanut butter has hardened up, and now my chocolate, I microwaved it, it's nice and creamy and smooth. And you're just going to spoon it on top and just completely cover the peanut butter. And make sure to kind of flatten it out so that it completely seals it shut. And then once it's completely filled, it should basically be right at the top. And just make sure there's no peanut butter showing, nothing seeping through. And just put it back into the freezer until it's totally solid, and it'll be just about ready to go. All right, now once your giant peanut butter cup has solidified in the freezer, you're going to want to take the red cup mold off of it. So this is really easy. Just take a pair of scissors and you want to snip the top of the cup and kind of get it broken. And then you just want to peel back. It should just peel right off, no problem. Okay, you roll it right out and check that out. Now you have a giant red Solo Reese cup and it's ready to go. Pretty good.